Alright, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing this morning? Figure, mix it up a little bit and just watch a little game footage while we let everybody file in this morning. I don't really have a ton going on as far as topics and that kind of thing goes, so we're just going to kind of wing it this morning. And, oh, we got him one. Hang on just a second here. Okay, that's good enough for now. Because I've still got to eat my breakfast, too. Breakfast is important. You got to have your breakfast. For growing boys, you got to have your breakfast. How's everybody doing this morning? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. White hats make your head look fast. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's a trick. Maybe I just need to, like, deck myself out in all white. Brian, this is just recorded for Home Runs for Heroes from 2018. So I just figured I'd mix it up a little bit and play some footage here instead of just boring you guys to death. So we're doing that just to kind of get the day started. Hey, there's yours truly looking for game balls because I brought him to the Empire and then he just decided to lose them. That was cool. It's one of my favorites. Goodness, what a day! We had a heck of a day here. I'll say that for sure. We had a pretty good little squad here, and the Gas House guys got me again. Something about those guys, I can just never beat them. Doesn't matter where we go, or where we're playing, or anything else. Seems like the Gas House guys always beat us. So, how's everybody doing with the weather situation? I know it's a little bit different everywhere in the country right now, but pretty much anywhere not on the coast is pretty much smashed with snow and ice right now. I do know that. Kids haven't had school all week long, along with President's Day. What's up, Eric? Waking up for this again? Hey, we appreciate you stopping in. And I'm going to tell you now, I am going to shut off this webcam for just a minute because I'm comfortable with you guys doing a lot of things, but eating a banana on a webcam is not one of them. It feels like something to go viral in like 2 seconds. And I don't want that. So we are going to work on doing a couple different things. Just talking about topic-wise stuff. Something that I want to talk about, and just kind of something that I got coming from next week. But I want get everybody a chance to get filed in here before I get too far into that. And I have noticed that, like, if I repeat myself every like 10 or 15 minutes with something that's like coming up or something like that, it's only for the people that are just tuning in, or for the people that might be in and out, just so they get the information about me missing. What's up, Jorge? How you doing, man? See, Brian wants to know, he says, played a lot of senior ball and mix in some young ball every week, and was wondering what you guys thought about using a mat full-time for balls and strikes. Not a fan of that, and I'll tell you why. So, just looking at this field here, let's see if I can get my cursor to show up on the field. Okay, it should be. Oh, what the... There we go. So anyway, okay, so I guess my cursor is not going to show up on the field here. But so anyway, the issue that you run into with mat ball, in my opinion, and kind of what drives me batty about it is the fact that you're often put in a situation swinging at pitches that you don't want to swing at. And yes, the other pitcher could do the same thing, but a lot of times any decent level hitter is just going to default to a 12-foot pitch they don't want to hit. They know is going to hit a mat. They're just going to default to, Tim just got ran over. Tough. But the problem is you end up swinging at a lot of stuff you wouldn't normally swing at in a lot of situations just because it's going to hit the mat. Like, say you're calling 12-foot pitches. You could throw a 12-foot pitch that as long as it hits the mat, it's a strike. Even where Gabe would be at in the box right here, if that 12-foot pitch hits the very back of the mat, he's got to swing at it at his head. See, that would have hit a mat. He's got to hit that. That's just not fun softball, in my opinion. And kind of why I'm against mats. Like, yes, I understand it takes out a lot of the gray area of, it's a strike or it's not and that kind of thing, but it takes out a lot of the gray area of, what's a strike and what's not and that kind of thing. But that is what drives me nuts about mat ball is it handcuffs you as a hitter. As a pitcher, if you can consistently hit that pitch deep on that mat like that, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. Yeah, so where you are in Texas, where are you at in Texas? Did you get a bunch of the ice and stuff, or you just got the cold temperatures? I saw that I follow a guy on YouTube, and he was supposed to have a car event down there in Houston this weekend, and I saw that he canceled it because it was only supposed to be like 40-something degrees, and it was going to give all the ice and stuff a chance to melt off. So I got to figure it must be dang near everywhere as far as like the ice and stuff goes. Yeah, Adam, as far as like the mat ball not bothering me, I guess, technically it does and it doesn't. Like I said, there's no arguing what's a ball and strike. That is nice. But from a hitting standpoint, it sucks. That's really all I'll say about it. Yeah, and it definitely can eliminate the umpires being bad to an extent. But, if it's a deal where, people are trying to abuse the ceiling, that kind of thing, it can also be an issue. Or umpires that don't understand what a ceiling is. Yeah, that's brutal as well. We've had that in a league that we play in close to here. I'm not kidding you when I say I was throwing some pitches close to 20 feet in the air, and he was not calling them. Like, just what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Nice catch by Seffi out there. So like I said, for those tuning in, this isn't going to be the whole podcast. We're not just going to sit here and watch game film. I do plan on just talking about a couple of things that I do have wrote down for topics and then just kind of hanging out, but it's not going to be just rewatching game film that hopefully you've already watched. So bear with me. Maybe come back in a few minutes if you don't want to watch this, but I do urge you to stick around, of course. So what's everybody got going on for the weekend? Is anybody not covered in ice playing this weekend? Any indoor stuff or anything like that? Oof. Yeah, Brian, and that's what I mean when you say, a good pitcher will destroy the height limit. Yeah, I mean, it's, maybe I'm that guy, maybe I'm not. It doesn't really bother me to admit, it was a close game, and I'm not going to go up there to try and lose, but I'm not going to, be a complete ass bag either. But I was pitching and had the opportunity to, make a difference in the game by abusing that ceiling that he wasn't calling. So of course I threw that. It was impossible to hit, especially we were playing a bunch of young, baseball kids, and of course they're all, trying to get something down at their knees, and they're all coming in over their heads. They were getting pretty aggravated, but it's the nature of the game. Their pitcher could have did the same thing and he didn't. Or if anybody has any topics or anything to talk about, we can totally do that too. That doesn't bother me. That's fine with me too. If anybody has any questions or anything like that, I'll answer those as usual in the chat like I usually do. Like I said, we're just kind of freestyling this podcast today. Let me get finished huffing this food down and then we'll get started here. That'd be just about the right amount of timing. Dude, this guy right here, Big Caleb, dude has got power for days.
How to stop buffering issues anywhere, anytime, instantly.
He can, he did a really good job last year of working on harnessing that power. And with more time and effort put into that, dude's going to be a good hitter. I mean, he already is. That's a complete accident. Complete accident. Ball just went, 340, just trying to hit it down. That's just his swing. But if he can harness that power and take that same energy into a pitch and hit it down, be absolutely dangerous. Been working on the backside game a little bit, and he's getting good at that. But his natural swing is, that's a 52 300 ball with a fairly new U-trip bat. And he just demolished it. Some people just got that natural power, and for that I envy them. St. Louis's favorite D pitcher, my man Tip here. If you don't know, then you just don't understand. So we are going to have a tournament next weekend, first one of the year for me, in Kansas City next weekend, playing at Liberty for the Marty Ball. So if you're going to be in the area, playing or hanging out, come hang out, say hey, keeping your 6 feet, of course. Appreciate that. And should be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be cool outside, so the ball will definitely be flying. I wouldn't mind being a spectator, just so I'm not the one on the mound being hit at. Brian says, have I ever tested, reviewed senior bats like I do ASA and U-Trip? Dave does a good job, but you guys are more thorough. Oh yeah, Dave does a good job covering that stuff. If I thought that there was enough traffic on the channel of the senior crowd, then I would definitely do more senior reviews. I know there's a handful of you guys, but as far as like it being worth it to Headbanger to send that stuff out to me, debatable, because senior guys are I say it like I'm not, but I'm very stuck in my ways of who I buy from and that kind of thing. So it would also be a matter of, is traffic getting driven towards Headbanger, because they do sell senior bats, so I could get seniors from him, that kind of thing. But I haven't really messed with putting them on the tester either, or on the radar either for that matter. But I would like to kind of venture into that a little bit. Brian and I had talked about a couple of video ideas that would involve senior bats, so we'll see what's up with that. But as of now, there's nothing in the near future as far as rock solid that I know that I'll have senior content coming. No, Hey Gio, how you doing, man? As far as the elbow up thing goes, I'm not. Ooh, snow cone by Maddie out there. I'm not here for that action. Really, I'm not. Because a lot of people, the elbow up is to swing down on a ball, swing down slash level. But most of the time, it's going to be down. You're not wanting to take like that type of baseball swing at a softball. A softball's coming in on an arc. Swinging with your elbow up really isn't going to do you a ton of good. So that's usually the first thing. If I've got a baseball guy that's wanting me to help him with his swing a little bit, that's usually the first thing I tell him. Just get your elbow down. You don't have to tuck it into your side or anything like that. Just don't mess with getting it up, because that's just going to make you dip. It's going to make you dip. It's going to make your swing plane look kind of funky. It's going to really limit the pitches you can hit. That ball hit the freaking chalk. It's going to really limit the pitches you can hit. and it just overall, I just don't think it's good for slow pitch softball. There are guys that can do it, but I personally don't. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, Danny, that's the other thing too. Your elbow instinctively will come down as you swing too, but it can lead to some issues within the swings. But I don't remember this kid hitting that well. Yeah, Ryan Harvey's got some good content on YouTube. He's been posting a little more stuff. I saw the video he posted last night. He's very direct in what he says. He's not beating around the bush. That's pretty good content. I would like to play that content, but just like because we're sitting here talking about it, but I just kind of feel like that's a jerk move to play his content on my channel. So I'll tell you to go check it out for sure. Those that don't know who Ryan Harvey is, maybe if you don't follow like competitive softball or that kind of thing, the dude is a mammoth, probably one of the best hitters in the conference, hands down. Notoriously hits the long ball of the weekend every weekend, and dude is just smart. If you listen to him talk about hitting, he's super smart. So go over and check his channel out, and he's got plenty of good stuff on there too. He didn't want to run on that arm. That guy that I had playing left field on this day, he's a minor league catcher, and I'm telling you, the arm on that man is unbelievable. Obviously, he's a good athlete. He's playing the outfield too, but I mean, his arm was just stupid. Being a catcher, you used to having kind of a short, quick release, and just like watching him pick a ball up in the grass and throwing it was just wild. Here we go. I bet he hoses this one in. Yeah. Look at that. Almost got him at first base. Let's replay that for the kids at home. It's a 300-foot fence. Would have been one hop to second base had Maddie picked it. The ground was awful on this day. So, I mean, I wouldn't be trying to stand in front of a 110-mile-an-hour fastball either. But, I mean, that is absurd. I mean, the dude has a rocket for an arm. One hop into second base, no higher than 4 feet off the ground. That's a true catcher throw. Ton of backspin, quick release, nice and low. You can't really ask for much more out of that. But bazooka of an arm nonetheless, that's for sure. Ads? Who plays ads on YouTube? God. It's ridiculous. Whoever does these ads. Denny, we ended up getting... I don't know, like honestly I never heard like the weather stations or anything like that as far as their official reports, but I know just over the accumulation of about the last week or so that I've got a good probably 8 inches of snow in my backyard. I don't know how much of that is drifted. I don't know how much of it isn't, but I've got a lab that's 3 years old, and the snow comes up to his chest when he goes outside. And of course he's a moron, so he still likes to go outside and play in the snow. Like 3 bites of food here, then we're getting started. I promise we're almost ready. All right, I'm done. I promise. I'm all finished up. Got the egg whites, toast with a banana. Feeling real nice. Ready to go right now. We're fueled up for the podcast, baby. Ten inches in Troy. Yeah, I mean it's been bad, and the thing that sucks is it's been so cold, and we just can't get out of getting any of the snow away. It's so dang cold it doesn't have a chance to melt. Like they're talking about temps being in the 30s this weekend. I'm not even sure that's going to be good enough to get the snow melted off. It might melt a little bit just from the residual heat from the sun, but I don't know how long it'll last, and that's what sucks. And my man Tim there, mammoth of a man. Dude hit probably the furthest ball I've ever had hit off of me, and one of the furthest ones I've ever seen hit in person off of me last year. It was just an absolute bomb. And BP Hero eating video, good content for the channel, yeah. So we're gonna get started here. After we watch my man Gabe's at bat here. Can't just end it on Gabe. We got to get Gabe content in here, right? You guys always asking about Gabe and the Gabe content. Well, here's Gabe for you. If I remember correctly, he draws a walk here. Ooh, dumped him a strike in there. Rolled over on it. Hustling, though. They ain't going to get him at first. Why'd you even throw that ball? Why would you throw that ball? He was a step from the bag when you turned. That's just nerdy baseball kid stuff. Yeah, Jordan, yeah. Dig in the hat, bro. So let's... Not everybody get scared or jump. Oh, hang on. Now I got Snacks hitting. Now we got to get Snacks in here, too. That's my other guy. I don't know why all my friends are left-handed. Snacks is left-handed. There's Grumpy Snacks in the chat for y'all that don't know. I don't know if Snacks is here yet or not. Usually he checks into the podcast. Got Gabe that's left-handed. My wife is left-handed. I'm surrounded by wrong-handers. It's crazy. That was not a strike. Good piece right there. Blow it through there. All right, I'm done. We're done. We got to go. I don't even know who's hitting next. So, talking about that hat. Don't get scared. We're going webcam here. Boom. So, got the fresh hat. You know what? There we go. So, I got the fresh Headbanger Sports hat, Pacific 404. I'm on the way to go. But you should definitely have a BP Hero hat if you don't have one already. Just throwing that out there. Hey, and look at there, just talk about Caleb's power. I said I wasn't going to show nobody else hit. We've got to talk about Caleb's power here for just a minute. Automatic. You don't even know why that kid moved. That ball landed back in the trees about 60 feet behind the fence. So anyway, off with the podcast. I'm going to pause this music. Then we're going to go to the podcast thumbnail. And then we're going to fire up our fancy little playlist. So last time I tried playing this music and it wasn't very loud. Like I thought when somebody said they could barely hear the music, I thought they meant like it was a nice touch in the background. No, they literally meant they can't hear the music. I guess I took that a little too literal. So let's do this. So how's this sound? It's like I think I'm actually going to turn it down just a touch unless you guys say otherwise. There we go. So let's see. Get my chat pulled back up here so I can see what you nerds are saying. Let's see. Oh, y'all talking about senior bats, man. You guys and your senior stuff, man. Maybe I should have some senior stuff on the channel. It seems like seems like most of the guys that tune into the podcast are down with the senior stuff. Get back to Bon Jovi before. I never was a Bon Jovi guy. I never really got into like the whole 80s music and that kind of thing. I can't play like the Bon Jovi and actual music and things like that, just because of copyright claims and things like that. So, no, Virgil, actually, 2 days in a row is not right. So yesterday's podcast was a podcast that I posted. That was last week's podcast. That was episode 5 from last week. I had to take it down and do a couple things to it, and post and kind of edit and do a couple things to it before I could repost it. So I did that and took care of that, and just honestly, I uploaded it and then forgot to publish it again. So that the publishing was just that. It was just last week's podcast. I guess I probably should have clarified that or put that like that clip in there or something, just to let everybody know. Like, hey, this isn't this week's podcast. Or I could say, recorded on or whatever have you. But as far as the podcast, speaking of which, next week's, we're going to have our first guest on. And let me see. So for those that aren't familiar with ISPS, it is a smaller international softball sanction, and I do know they do a lot of posting on Instagram and a little bit of Facebook, if I remember correctly. We're gonna have the commissioner on and kind of talk about that a little bit. I thought it'd be kind of unique to hear from someone that's running a sanction, and he's been reaching out to me for a while to get on the podcast, so it'd be kind of cool to have him on and kind of hear what ISPS is about. Seems like they've always got some good competition. And I'm going to tell you something, too. The ball they choose to use for their sanction ball is an absolute golf ball. If anybody has hit the basically what is a multi-layer ISA ball, I know a lot of you senior guys know what I'm talking about. The multi-layer X-Rocks, the ISA balls, are just absolutely absurd. And that's what he decided to use for a sanction ball. And I'm telling you what, those things are a blast. Oh, Gio, I've swung senior bats before. They are a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'll have him on, and we're gonna do that next week. I'm gonna put out a couple of reminders just to remind you guys that we will have a guest, and if you guys have any questions about that, if maybe you're familiar with his sanction or anything like that, and we can do that, kind of bounce those questions off of him. Maybe he'll have some questions for me. We're just gonna kind of wing it and see what we get, but I'm looking forward to that, having our first guest on for the season. I got another couple guys lined up here pretty soon. They don't know it yet, but I know it. One of them might be in the chat as well. You just never know. So we're going to have some people on. Get my list of topics pulled up here. Like I said, I didn't have but a couple. I'm just kind of like hanging out with the chat. I think is what we're going to do today. So one thing I did want to talk about, seeing some people post videos of their swing and that kind of thing, just trying to work on their swing and looking for tips, and all that these new bats are coming out. Everybody's trying to get out and get a few swings in, and it seems like everybody either has a cameraman that has had way too much caffeine and has the shakes, or just nowhere to mount their phone. And it's kind of crazy to me because you got guys that walk around with $2,000 worth of bats in their bag, and they want to record their videos and they want to do that stuff. That's cool, man. Like, I'm here for it. But you could spend $30 and very easily have a recording setup. I mean, it's everybody uses their phone anyway. So just buy yourself a cheap tripod and a camera phone mount, and it's rock and roll. It's go time. I'll even go as far as showing you what I'm planning on using for the year, because I did get an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I was shooting film with my Canon 70D, and it's a great camera. I've been very happy with it. Nothing bad to say about it, other than the fact that it's from 2012. It only shoots in 1080 at 30 frames. And it's just kind of a nature of the Canon, not necessarily the age of the camera. It's kind of a nature with Canon's camera technology to not be the best in low light situations. So they aren't the best for that. So I've got this iPhone, and I'm going to try out recording with it and just kind of see how it goes. But I would venture to guess that I'm probably going to be recording with my iPhone this year. I've got a microphone attachment and everything for it. So let me get this link pulled up for you. Maybe. Got it. Let's see. Scroll on down here. So this is, see details. Oh goodness. Okay. Is it really going to do that to me? We can fix that. All right, so here's what I'm using for a mount for my tripod. I mean, it just opens up and the phone goes in. You can do that. You can mount it a million different ways too. Not really sure what the point of having this on top of a camera is. I guess if you want to go live and record, that's talking about just getting straight wild. But you can see how the phone mounts in here. It opens and expands, and then this clip right here locks it. So, you flip it down, you open it up. It's spring loaded, so it stretches around your phone, close it up, clamp it up, and then you can mount it on a tripod here. Let's see if we got a different image of that. See, you can mount this on a tripod and it'll screw in right there. So, I mean, that's a $20 phone mount, and that there are other options as far as like phone mounts go. You can get them on Amazon for like $7 or $8. But the quality is cheap. I've actually burned through a couple of those. I'm just doing different live stuff, and I use them for my pocket radar as well. And they work, but they're super cheap and they break very, very easy. I don't see this thing breaking anytime in the near future. And it'll hold a great big phone too. I've got an iPhone 12 Pro Max in an OtterBox. I believe this is the Defender, if I remember correctly, and it still fits in there just fine. With room to go, actually. So as far as the size of the phone that holds, no issues there at all. And then you can just get yourself a cheap tripod here too. I mean, just as an example here. Let's see what we got. $30 tripod. We'll just go low to high. Yeah, so I mean, you got a $9 tripod. You got a $20 tripod. I had this one for a hot minute. Great tripod, super cheap. And like I said, you can go to Amazon and get stuff even cheaper, and it'll work. You could probably get away with a cheaper tripod, but I would not mess around with a cheap phone mount just because it is gonna be apt to break. But you're looking at it $30-$40 tops to get yourself a setup to be able to record and do that stuff with. In my opinion, it's money well spent in the aspect of a quality video production. Maybe you're wanting to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you're wanting to let's see. Maybe you're wanting to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you're wanting to record yourself swings. Maybe you're wanting to record your kids playing ball. Whatever it might be. So it's money well spent in my opinion. And you can even go as far as getting a microphone like you saw. Let's see if I can find the picture. I've got the picture somewhere that I can show you of basically what's going to be my setup for the upcoming year. If I need to do an experiment, and actually kind of funny that I was clowning on, why is this phone on top of this camera? Because there's actually a mount that comes with that tripod kit that you can do that with, and it's kind of funny because I'm actually going to use that mount that came with that, so I can do basically a side-by-side comparison, a side-by-side top to bottom, whatever you want to call it, and figure out just which one is for sure better, so we can work on getting some better quality content out. Because like one thing that kind of holds me back a little bit at times when it comes to filming is being places that I have to worry about lighting and that kind of thing, because you know it's maybe an odd time of day and it's the only field I can get on, or whatever else. But this is what we're looking at for the year. Just a super cheap. If you wanted to go as far as starting your own channel and getting a super cheap microphone, you can do that too. I think that's like a $60. It's the Video Mic. What is it? Video Mic Micro, I think I want to say, or Video Mic Go, one of the two. It's like a $60 mic with just your standard iPhone dongle to attach it, and you don't need any special cables or anything crazy like that. It works really good. I've messed with a little bit around the house just as far as recording and stuff goes, and it works really well. So yeah, you can go out and spend, you know, $1,000 on a camera or however much money, but really and honestly, guys, some of the best cameras that we have are in our pockets right now, and that's just, I don't know what set that industry standard to make iPhone cameras so good, or not even iPhone cameras, just cameras so good in general, because Samsung makes really good cameras as well. And there's actually even a couple of Android powered cameras. I don't know. I know that when I was shopping for cameras way back when, they were kind of a thing, and I don't know if the popularity with those ever took off or not, but it was basically, it looked like a phone on one side, and the other side was legitimately just like a camera lens, had a flash that popped up out of it and everything. But I don't know that those ever took off or not. But if you're looking for something to record super cheap, whether you want to post a video you swinging your bat, or you're looking for swing tips or anything else, and instead of propping your phone up in your bag or doing whatever else, you know, you got guys out here blaring music in their $200 Bluetooth speakers and swinging their, you know, bag load of bats at $200 a piece. You can spend 30 or 40, have yourself a recording setup, and not have to prop your phone up in your bag and hope it stays standing up the whole time. And turn your phone this way. Put it in landscape mode. Don't put it in portrait mode. Put it in landscape mode. We want to see everything around you. We don't want to see just you. No offense. I'm sure you're beautiful. But if we're watching your film and your video stuff, we want to see what's going on with the video. We want to see where the ball goes. Turning it the other way just cuts off a lot of field of view. It's one thing that kind of drives me batty sometimes, like watching people do that. It's like, no, do it the other way. You know, you don't ever want to be that guy. Let's see, I got y'all talking about monsters in the chat. Don't know nothing about that. You're gonna have to confide elsewhere for the monster information. Yeah, I did see that Adam, Fat Guy BP, posted some more of his Hit Tracks tournament stuff in his channel. It's actually kind of unique. I'm talking with the guys right now about going out and hitting this weekend. The guys on my softball team about going out and hitting somewhere indoors this weekend, and we may go down and see if we can hit up the place that's got the Hit Tracks. Be a little bit of fun. It'd be something to definitely record and make some content with, just to kind of see what's up with it. How good is the Hit Tracks? Maybe even get the radar out and put the pocket radar up against the Hit Tracks and see which one is, I should say, more accurate, but I guess maybe how far they are apart, because I don't know how accurate the pocket radar is really. Yeah, Danny. You know, I mean, a cheap tripod is more important than you think for sure. I mean, I've got myself a pretty decent one as well. But as far as just like, if we're talking recording, you know, a 5-minute BP session, a cheap tripod would do just fine. If you're looking to get into more production stuff, a better tripod is definitely money well spent. I figured that out the hard way. I was using like cheap little travel tripods and stuff like that, and dealing with outdoor stuff, you deal with weather, deal with them blowing over, dealing with all kinds of stuff, and it drove me nuts. I finally got myself a good tripod, and it was worth every penny. Yeah, and it's production value too. I thought about doing some slow motion stuff, because with this phone, it has the ability to shoot up to, I think, 240 frames for some slow mo clips. I thought that'd be kind of neat to do. And now that I've kind of, like I said, it's not for sure, but then I've kind of adopted filming with the phone. I know that the phones can do a lot of things, so I'm kind of hoping that maybe that can open us up to a little more content too. Gio said he's not going to film. Yeah, we got Gio. I'll tell you what, just for that, Gio, let's see if we can get you pulled up here. Gio, I bet you got that link somewhere. Can I get this posted before you get the link posted? Oh, stupid ad.
Capability in the first ever Yukon AT4.
Geo teeing off. This is from the snowball tournament in, what was it, 2015, I think is what the video title said. This was back in the day before I really knew a whole lot about setting up cameras and GoPros and that kind of thing. It was literally just throw it up and go. That was a line drive home run. But this snow was awful. That snow was, or the mud was awful. Gio going backside for a homer, no doubter. See, oh yeah, so I think we got the big bomb right here. Yeah, hitting 44 400s, unlimited home runs. Yep, there's another laser for a home run. Well, man, Gio can hit, y'all. Don't sleep on him. Got him another one. The man is automatic. So there you go, Gio. you brought it up and I couldn't just leave you hanging. I thought I stopped that. There we go. So yeah, it does take a little bit of a, get used to watching yourself hit. As far as like, man, I look, you watch yourself hitting a video and you're like, man, I look dumb. What is this? What is this? What am I doing? I was helping my niece when she was playing fast pitch. I was helping her with some stuff with her swing, and I was recording her swing just to kind of show her, hey, you're doing this with your swing. She's like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. She would try and correct it and literally just do the same thing over again, because it's one of those things, if you don't see it, it doesn't work that way for everyone, but if you don't see it, then you don't understand what you're doing. And once you see it, you can realize what that feels like. So then when you do something different, then when you do that something different, then you know the difference. Like it may not feel right at first, but you know that is correct. And you can kind of evolve your swing and go from there. So when you slip into that bad habit of doing what you used to, then you'll feel it. That's one of the things that I love when it comes to kind of working with people in their swings and that kind of thing is they're making a change with their swing, and then, they're starting to get the feel for that change, and they miss hit a ball, and they'll say, dang it. And I'll ask them, I say, well, what was it? What happened? I said, I did it again. Like they felt it. They felt that old habit coming back. And some people can get that without video. Some need the video. And regardless, it's always a good thing to kind of see and hear people when they work on stuff like that, to know, you're chasing those habits away and you know what it feels like. And the video is the best way to do it. I mean, and that's how this YouTube gig started for me. That's how all of this stuff started, was me recording video, trying to get a better swing. And it was, basically I was swinging some combat. I was a big combat guy back in the day, for those that don't know. And I was swinging, what was it? Maybe an OG Gear Virus, if I remember correctly. And I was swinging it, working on some stuff with my swing, and then somebody said, well, how's that bat? So I'll swing it next time. I'll swing it next time when I do make these changes and then come back. And then somebody asked a question about another bat that I had laying there. And the next thing I know, I'm working on my swing, posting these videos of working on my swing, and people are asking questions about the bats. I'm swinging the bats they're asking. That evolved into just going out and swinging the bat anyway, and getting the content with the bat, and it just evolved from there to what it is now. I never would have believed in a million years that it would have evolved to, almost 12,000 subscribers and eclipsing 1 million views on the channel. It's just wild. to think that actually happened. It's pretty cool. It's humbling and it's pretty cool. And I remember way back when, you know, I kind of looked at my wife and I said, you know, I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. When I was finally realizing like there might be something here, and she didn't like laugh like, haha, you idiot. She was just kind of like, you know, oh, you know, what is it when your kids say they're gonna do something and you know they're not? They're just kind of like, oh yeah. But that's kind of the response I got. And look at us now, guys. It's crazy. You guys are sitting here listening to me blab and ramble and carry on, and man, I couldn't be more happier with the way things have evolved. I'll say that for sure. So it's one of those things. Let's see if, you know what, you're sitting here talking about that. I may actually see if I can pull up. What if I can find that video without doing too much digging? If I could find the very first video that I ever posted. Best blabber on YouTube. I got to be good at something, right? Definitely not the best hitter. If y'all seen Will at the Slow Pitch Bat Bros, he's making us all look bad. So a dude's got the home run derbies on lock. If we're doing a home run derby, that's probably my number one pick. A dude can hit some absolute bombs with anything you put in his hands. Oh yeah, Mike, absolutely, man. Don't thank me for the hard work. I thank you all for, you know, coming out and hanging out, man. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. So let's see if I can find. Hopefully I can. I'm sitting here talking about it. I kind of want to see now. So let's see. Go studio. Content. Let's see. I guess I'll just do it this way. Hi, Miss Riley. YouTubing. What are you doing? Okay, see you later. She's gone. Oh man, I forgot about this thing. So, no way. This can't be the first one. It's so bad. I was hoping it'd be a better one, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. So let's see. Get this opened up. This video that I'm about to show you is absolute cringe. And when I say absolute, I mean absolute. There's a guy on Softball Fans, just for the backstory here. There was a guy on Softball Fans that was documenting the life of a bat. Whatever it was, he was going out putting BP on it, putting game swings on it, and he was kind of posting about it on Softball Fans every time he would put more swings on it. It's breaking in, it's doing this, it's doing that. And it's getting a little bit of a rattle now. And I thought, man, this would be cool. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that with a bat. And that bat was the Reebok Dictator. I don't even remember where we got these things for $40 a piece at, but we got them. And it's like, oh, cool, this will be a good video to make. And decided that was what I'm going to do. And no, I did not have my phone in landscape mode. It was so long ago, and I didn't know very much about cameras and editing, because I even edited this video up to get it to full screen. So it was a bit of an adventure, but this is literally, I went back to the first public softball video I have ever posted on my channel, and it's brutal. So bad. What is this, 2012? Oh god, it was so bad. See, and that's what I'm talking about with, you know, oh, finally got a good one. Consistency, guys. Consistency. I finally, god, that was so bad. I finally got to, finally got to a point with this bat, you know, so the little series I was working on. I finally got to a point with that thing where I was like, man, this is the lost cause. I'm giving up on this thing. Because I was thinking, somebody had said they weren't very durable, so I was like, oh, this will be cool. If it's not very durable, it'll be kind of a quick series and, you know, maybe a handful of videos, and We beat the absolute brains out of that thing as much as we could, because that was, just to be honest, the bat was awful. It was an absolutely horrendous bat. It burned your hands really bad all the time, and it just was not a good situation. But that is the absolute first video that I've ever posted on YouTube, and I don't care to ever look at it again. Just kidding. But it's just kind of nice to see that stuff. Like, that's where you started. That's where you came from. You know, and that's what I mean by sometimes when I get like into the inspirational speech mode is don't give up. You know, don't say you can't get better. You can get better every day. Do something to get better every day, no matter what it is. And you know, when I first started, I mean, you saw it right there. I mean, not that my swing is great now, but you know, when I first started hitting it, I'm not kidding you, when I first started playing softball and everything, this was like way back before this video. I started playing softball in 07, and I couldn't hit a ball out of a 230-foot field, and that is the God's honest truth. I swung and I swung and I swung and I swung. We were there. Like, I was taking multiple rounds just to try and hit one out. One of the guys that was basically running our team at the time, we had a little league team, boy. We thought we were something. Even he snuck one out of there, and I just couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. I had a lot of baseball in me. I had a lot of just not understanding a swing in me, and it was kind of frustrating because I'm not to like say I was a great baseball player, but I was a good baseball player for a Class 1 school, and to translate that to what you just saw on a softball field was very frustrating. But, you know, I struggled to hit a ball 230 feet when I first started, and now I'm not, by no means am I making distance claims or power claims or saying I'm a good hitter, but there's not many parks around here that I can't hit a ball out of. I'm not saying consistently or on demand or one after another or anything like that, but just, you know, be humble and realize where you came from. You know, you always see these guys that want to look down on someone, or, you know, I can do this, I can do that on a softball field. Get away from me, you peasant. Like, dude, you were that person too. You know, I've seen it happen. I've seen it firsthand. Somebody approach someone, you know, wanting advice or anything like that, and they'll just be a smart ass and blow them off. But in all reality, that person was genuinely looking for help, and you didn't give them any. You had help. You had help getting to the level you're at. You know, return the favor. You know, be an example. And it makes a big difference, especially with, you know, people that still want to play the game. But I'm not going to get too far onto that tangent, because I told myself I wasn't going to get on any rants today, because I get to ranting and one thing leads to another, and before you know it, it's been like an hour and a half and I'm still sitting here talking. But it is funny that Geo brings up the Miken RevX. He's talking about cold weather and everything else. I like to shoot. I'm going to try and shoot some more Throwback Thursday stuff. Excuse me. Try to shoot some more Throwback Thursday stuff. And let's see. Do it in the off season when everything is still nice and cold outside. And I actually came across these gems right here. That is a new and wrapper Miken RevX and a new and wrapper Worth Resmondo Titan. I'm pumped to swing this Resmondo Titan. This is like OG U-Trip stuff right here. Now, I will say, I did remember after the fact, I've got a rule for my Throwback Thursday stuff, and basically my rule is no new stamps. I don't want a 2012 stamp or newer. So I did drop the ball on that, but I'm still going to make a video out of this, and the reason for it, obviously, because the bat is older, but I want to see what this bat is all about. In the St. Louis area, there were guys swinging these things and just raving about them and could not get enough of these things. Everybody's talking about how good they were, and I was still stuck on my comebacks at the time. I was like, man, just shut up. Give me another Derby, boys. You know, I just broke one. Get me another one. I don't even care. I don't care what's good or what's bad. I know what's good, and it's a combat. So I didn't really give any of these other bats the light of day. So this thing does have a new stamp on it, so I'm breaking one rule there, and I'll acknowledge it in the video. but I'm pumped to swing that bat just to see what all the hype is about. And, you know, it's just kind of a stroll down memory lane. And then the Resmondo Titan, I'm not sure how I want to approach that thing, because it's going to need some breaking in. That's when bats needed, you know, 2,000 swings to get loosened up and get grooving. But once they did, they just got good and good and good and better and better and better. And that Resmondo Titan will do that. I'll probably put a couple hundred swings on it with some golf balls in this cold weather just to get it good and loosened up for the video. Because half the fun of swinging the Throwback Thursday stuff is kind of showcasing the durability and the performance of some of this stuff too. So I'm looking forward to getting those. I usually don't try and leak the Throwback Thursday stuff, but I did in this case. And don't know whose toes those are up there because I did not take this picture. Shout out Creepy Toes. No, Gio, it's a 26 in load. It's like I said, I don't really care when it comes to Throwback Thursday stuff. I'm not too worried about the weight of the bat because it's going to be, you know, shot for a video for a reason. It's not like I'm reviewing the bat, comparing it to other products that I'll be doing this year. It's not like a 2021 stuff or anything like that. It's just to get the bat and be able to swing it and enjoy it and kind of tell the story of the bat and that kind of thing. So that'll be cool to do. And the Resmondo Titan is a 30 ounce. That's the other reason that I'm really looking forward to swinging that. It's like, man, I used to live and die by 30s back in the day. It's there's times where I think I would still swing one if I could get my hands on them, depending on just, you know, how heavy the bat was overall. Obviously being a 30, but, you know, some 30s swing light, some swing heavy. Because, I mean, I swung a 28 all last year. I've swung a 28 a few other times, too. So, yeah, I just really like to go back down memory lane with the 30s, too. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many 30-ounce bats. Probably one of my favorite bats I ever had was a 30-ounce, and it literally said on the knob, 30XEL, instead of, like, the combats would say 30FL for full in load, or 30BA for balance. This said 30XEL. They didn't make a whole lot of 30XEL bats, but they did in this, and it was a combat antivirus. That was one of the like, man, even being an old ASA bat, that thing hit some of the furthest balls. I thought I was a man swinging that bat for the longest time. It was so much fun. I enjoyed that one. So I like kind of like sitting here talking about it and getting excited. So I'm excited to swing these old bats and kind of mix it up a little bit from the 2020, 2021 stuff. And just go out and have a little bit of fun. Let's see. So what I say, combats would be considered durable in today's slow pitch market. They would be just as durable as anything else. I'll say that. I think generally that's what kind of drove so many people away from combat was the durability. You know, people would say, "Oh, I broke, 7 combats in a month." Well, you also took 3,000 swings in them, because there are guys that go out and hit every day. If they're not playing, they're hitting. No offense to those guys, nothing against them, but you're gonna mow through just about any bat these days, and that was 100% the case. To me, the combat was just ahead of their time. It was a fast break-in, which also led to not a whole lot of durability. And you look around at bats now, and you got bats breaking in the same amount of swings that these combats were back in the day. I think they were just ahead of their time, and sometimes when stuff like that happens, it just doesn't sell well, and they didn't. They didn't for that reason, and it sucks because I think they would very much be a thing as a brand right now if it wasn't for that. Let's see, with 30s being nearly extinct, would you consider a 28 an endangered species at this point? Yes, absolutely. I would consider 28s to be an endangered species. So I heard a number. I was in a conference call with some people from a bat company, and a very large bat company, and 5% of their, and that's a real number, I'm not exaggerating, 5% of their overall sales last year was 28 ounce bats. It's a very big company. They sell lots and lots of bats, and 5% of those sales were 28s. So it's definitely something that's an endangered species type of thing. 26s. The 26s. He said the 26s sold the most. The 26s and the 27s, and then 25s. I see somebody saying something about 25s and 25.5. So it was 26s and 27s in order of what sold the most. 26, 27, and then 25. And he said even the 25s are starting to catch on. I just don't get it. And no offense to the people that swing them or whatever else. I just don't get it. I've never swung one and enjoyed it. I've tried the whole bat speed is king thing and just break my back trying to swing one, looking for some extra bat speed. And all it does is make me sloppy. It just makes me sloppy. It makes my swing fall apart. And I just lose absolute control of the bat. Yeah, I would, that's another thing I want to do this year. I want to get 2 bats that are the same weight. I know I've been saying that for a long time, but the channel has been growing, and what that means more, I'll just be honest, more money available to be able to provide content for you guys. And I started the Patreon page for that same reason, just to try and give everybody a chance to, I guess what you could say, donate to the cause or whatever else. Because the more money we can get coming in, the more content we can create. And I've got some good stuff coming. And that is something else that I want to do, is get a 25 and a 28 ounce bat, if you can even find a 28 these days, and go out and compare. Like I want to see and give it a genuine try to see if maybe there's something there for my own curiosity and just for the content. And I want to try and hit for distance with it, because there's guys saying, oh, bat speed, you need bat speed to hit a ball far. I mean, I would be willing to bet, and I'll do it in the video if I can, I would be willing to bet I lose 30 to 40 feet if I drop down to a 25. Every now and then I'll pick one up at BP, just kind of clowning around, and man, it's just it's bad news. It never ends well. I can pick up that 25 ounce and barely sniff the fence, and then pick up a 27 or 28 and instantly gain 20 to 30 feet of distance. And maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. I have no clue. I don't care. So that's my thoughts on that. But we can get the content going and show you guys at least my experimentation and what I found with it. Mitchell, yeah, you can come out and swing them. You know, you say Mitchell said he'll help. Yeah, you can come out and get some swings in too. You'll make me look bad though, but that's okay. My man Mitchell can hit some bombs too. We're gonna see him hit a lot of bombs this year. I just know it. And it's also Adam just brought it up here. Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, so you see some lighter stuff now. By the way, good luck trading or selling heavier bat. Trading or selling a heavier bat is absolute hell. Even the 27s are getting hard to move, and it's just because the 26s are so popular, and it sucks. It absolutely sucks, because just like Blue Panda said, Mike and Worth don't make any short barrel over a 27 anymore. So if you swing 28s and you want a Mike and Worth this year, you're going to have to get the heaviest, most inloaded thing you can find, which is going to be a 27 with a full ounce, which I believe will be the Freak 9R, which would be the Josh Riley. Is that right? I don't know. I can't remember if Josh Riley is Worth or Miken. Same soup, different bowl anyway. But and that's pretty much all you're going to have for options as far as that goes. I do feel like there was one other thing. Don't forget, also next week too, like I said, we're going to be hosting the ISPS commissioner, having him on for an interview and kind of see what ISPS is about. I've been seeing about it on social media, Instagram and Facebook and that kind of thing. So we'll get a chance to sit down with him and kind of pick his brain and see what the idea and inspiration was behind creating a softball sanction, what all goes into it. And it's got to be a lot of work. So we'll be able to get some good information from him. It'd be cool to kind of hear from him and see what he has to say about that stuff. So don't forget that's coming next week too. So be sure and tune in. And buy yourself a stinking hat if you haven't already. Slide in them DMs. I'll get you fixed right up. I think we're going to wrap it up for the podcast here, though, guys. Got a house full of things going on because everybody's home from the snow, so I'm going to go and hang out with them. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out. I hope you kind of enjoyed just the kind of Rambletron type podcast this morning. Eric's son, thanks for waking up just to listen to me Rambletron and eat my breakfast. But I'll catch you guys next time. Love all of you. Thanks for stopping in. Swing hard in case you hit it, and I'll see you next time.